Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, FPL Consult here, and today we're going to take a look at my Game Week 25 team selection. So I have already made my transfers, 4 moves made, and I've already taken a -8. Right? I'm pretty set on my Game Week 25 team, so I'm quite excited to share it with you guys later on in this video. But as usual, we're going to take a look at how I did for Game Week 24 very quickly before I talk a bit about my moves and then review the team. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this one, and if you do, please give it a like and also subscribe as well if you're new around here. So very quickly for Game Week 24, this was how I did. A small rank drop from 281k down to 303k. So that's a small drop. And this week, pretty much nothing too much to shout about. In all honesty, it was quite an uneventful week in terms of returns for FPL, and kind of the deciding factor was really whether you captained Rashford or not. Unfortunately, I went for Haaland. If I'd gone for Rashford, there would be happy days there, but fair play to those of you guys who went with your gut, went with Rashford instead of Haaland against Nottingham Forest. To be fair, Haaland did miss a couple of big chances against Forest, but you know, who knows, at the end of the day, FPL is also down to a little bit of gut feel as well. So fair play to those of you who went with Rashford, totally deserve your points. For me, I got 51 points in total this week. Kepa again, no clean sheet for him, right? Southampton scored that free kick from James Ward-Prowse, so unfortunately another blank for Kepa, right? In the backline as well, nothing too much to speak about other than Shaw, who kept the clean sheet against Leicester. In midfield, Almiron came in for Mahrez, who didn't feature, right? So Mahrez didn't feature in Game Week 24 against Nottingham Forest, who I felt like that was a little bit unlucky, but I did know in my head that he would either miss the Nottingham Forest game or the Game Week 25 Bournemouth game. So now that he has missed the Nottingham Forest game, I'm kind of quite happy that I think he will start the Bournemouth game, right? Even though he already played 90 minutes against Leipzig midweek, right? So that's on Mahrez and Almiron. Rashford, of course, we spoke about him. Man in form right now, 15 points. Incredible performance. Odegaard and Saka as well. I'm quite pleased with their returns. Odegaard, of course, getting an assist and then bonus points ahead of Saka as well, right? So pretty happy I have both of them, especially Saka, who has been ticking along very nicely since I brought him in a couple of weeks ago, right? And then up front, Harry Kane with an assist, Haaland blanking, so my captain 4 points. So that's pretty much it. And let's quickly take a look now at my transfer plans, because that's what we're focusing on today. So here it is. Here are my 4 transfer moves for Game Week 25 confirmed already, and I've locked in these moves. Here are the 4 players that I'm taking out: Luke Shaw, Harry Kane, Almiron, Patterson, and I'm bringing in Trent Alexander-Arnold, Gnonto, Salah, and Tarkowski. Now, 2 free transfers used and 2 hits taken, so that's a -8 for me, and I have 0.2 mil left in the bank. Now, couple of reasons why I've made these moves. Now, I think Salah and Trent, I think it's straightforward enough. We are all looking to bring in Liverpool players. So I've gone for Trent ahead of Darwin. It was pretty close, right? Whether I wanted to bring in Trent or Darwin, because I had a choice. I could have done Kane down to Darwin, and I could have gone Shaw to Tarkowski. There were a lot of permutations, but the reason why I've gone for Trent ahead of Darwin is basically because the shape of my team looks a lot better after doing Shaw to Trent instead of Kane to Darwin, where I can upgrade other players and do Patterson to Tarkowski instead, right? So basically, I felt like going for Trent would allow me to take to address the other areas in my team that needed addressing. So players like Patterson, moving him to Tarkowski is basically a major improvement. It's an upgrade to now a playing player that I can play. Kane down to Gnonto is also a good move, because Gnonto does have Southampton here in Game Week 25, and then in Game Week 28, there's a potential he could play in Game Week 28 as well. That fixture there in Game Week 28, the uncertainty is whether Wolves and Leeds will blank, or Fulham and Liverpool. So having Gnonto also allows me to actually have to hedge my bets basically, and have some Liverpool players that can potentially play in 28, and if they don't, I have Gnonto who plays in 28 as well. Right, so later on I will tinker a little bit with my moves to let you guys see how my team looks in Game Week 28, right, and why I've actually gone for Salah, Trent, and Gnonto, this combination. Right, now Patterson to Tarkowski, I think it's pretty straightforward. Patterson already ruled out. He's not going to feature in Game Week 25, so I think it's straightforward enough that Tarkowski already appearance points wise, he's already going to outscore Patterson, right? because that's 4 points, and the additional hit taken to do Patterson to Tarkowski is already just 4 points, right? So that's a move I think it's good to make, right? And for those of you with Patterson and you're starting him, I think moving him to Tarkowski for a hit is totally fine, right? So now let's take a look at how my team looks like for game week 25 now that I've made all these moves. So here is my team for Game Week 25 after making my transfers, and basically what I have is 7 doublers, right? 7 players who double in Game Week 25, and I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm quite happy with my -8 as well. So we're gonna go with Kepa in goal, right? Tottenham away. I still play him ahead of Ward, who has Arsenal at home for sure, right? So Kepa plays Tottenham away. At the backline, there's Trent, Ben White, Tarkowski, and Bueno, all of them with double game week fixtures, and of course, these are the 4 teams who double in Game Week 25. Right, so I have a hand in each of these double fixtures. And then in midfield, there's Mahrez, Salah, Odegaard, and Saka. Now, Salah, Odegaard, and Saka, I think are really players that would do quite well in Game Week 25. So I'm very, very pleased to have them. And in fact, Salah is currently having the captain's armband now. It's really close between Salah and Saka. So I'll go into a little bit more discussion of captaincy slightly later after this, right? But I just want to speak about the other players in my starting 11 first. Now, Mahrez, as I mentioned just now at the start of the video, I'm pretty confident he will start against Bournemouth because he already got a full rest against Nottingham Forest. So even though he has played 90 minutes against Leipzig in midweek, I do fancy his chances of starting against Bournemouth away. Right, so up front, we have Gnonto and Haaland. Right, Gnonto, as I mentioned, is a really good enabler. And on top of that, later on, we will tinker. And you will see why I think it's good to have him now because it hedges my bets for Liverpool players. And then Haaland, of course, Bournemouth away, right? And that's pretty much my team. Right, on the bench, there's Ward, there's Mitrovic, who probably isn't going to feature. Marco Silva has kind of ruled him out already. And then there's Rashford and Trippier, who I will want for future game weeks on my bench as well. Right, so I'll talk a little bit about captaincy right now. I think Salah and Saka, it comes really close. There's not a lot of things that divide them. They're both on penalties, both pretty much 90 minutes guaranteed for all of them. And they have both one away fixture and one home fixture. Right, so in terms of the opponents wise, I would say that Arsenal have the better opponents. Basically, the fixture is better. Arsenal's fixtures of Leicester away and Everton at home are fixtures that I think Arsenal can score a lot in. But the thing is, Salah's numbers have been really good post World Cup, right? And in fact, better than Saka, right? And all the odds right now, from the bookies, all the anytime scorer odds, the predicted points, all have Salah to do really well, right? So going based on data and based on metrics, Salah is actually the pick to go for. But if I'm gonna go for the fixtures that I prefer, right, I think I prefer Arsenal's fixtures from an attacking standpoint, and that's why I'm quite torn into this 50-50 right now. Let me know who you guys are captaining. Are you going for Salah or Saka? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd be interested to see how the split is like. It's likely going to be 50-50, but I am interested to see what you guys are thinking. Right, so there we go. That's Game Week 25, and now let's do a little bit of tinkering to explain to you guys why I did the Trent ahead of Darwin Núñez and how Gnonto is going to help me to hedge my bets in Game Week 28. Right, so just to show you guys what my team would look like in Game Week 28 after I've tinkered around a little bit into the future. Right, so this is where we are at in Game Week 25 now. I've locked in my 4 transfers. So on the screen right now is the team exactly as you saw in the graphic just now. As you guys can see, a -8 taken as well. Right, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Right, we're going to go into Game Week 26. I'm likely going to roll here and just start the best 11 players and captain the best player that I have. Come to Game Week 27, this is the double, right, for Brighton, for Southampton, for Crystal Palace, and for Brentford. So I'm likely going to make these moves that you see here now. I'm likely going to do Mitrovic to Tony, and also I'm likely to sell Mahrez to fund Mitoma. And then thereafter, I'm likely to also do Bueno to Estupinian. Right, so these are the moves that I probably will make come Game Week 27. That's a -4 hit. Right, and then come to Game Week 28, this is where it gets a little bit tricky for most people. But now that I have my Liverpool players, basically this scenario that you see here where there are fixtures for Liverpool players, what I've basically done is I've I've gone down here to the fixture ticker, and basically I've taken out the Leeds and Wolves fixture and I've put in the Liverpool and Fulham game. So in this scenario, if Liverpool and Fulham do go ahead, that fixture does play, then I will have a good number of players in Game Week 28. As you guys can see here, without doing anything, I already have 8 playing players. Right, so that's one scenario where Liverpool and Fulham go ahead. So now let's take a look at the other scenario. I'm going to remove the Liverpool and Fulham game instead, and I'm going to put back the Wolves and Leeds game into Game Week 28. So after doing this, we will see where Nonto comes in. Right, so basically the Liverpool players don't have fixtures anymore, right? But now Nonto, who didn't have a fixture before, now has a fixture, right? So this is one of the reasons why I think Nonto would be good. I can get to 7 players in Game Week 28, kind of hedges my bets a little bit for Game Week 28, whether or not Fulham and Leeds, whichever way the result swings for the FA Cup, which will affect who blanks in Game Week 28. So in this scenario, Nonto is going to come in as a pretty handy player. I think for Game Week 28, the plan for now is likely to just manage this game week. I'm not fully committed to a free hit in Game Week 28 just at the moment. I think Game Week 28, having about 7 to 9 players should be fairly sufficient to cover even a free hit team, right? I don't think the upside for a free hit in Game Week 28 would be so great that 7 to 9 good players, right, would not be able to match it a little bit, right? So that's where I'm standing right now, and that's kind of the reason why Nonto I feel is important to me for my team, and also why I've gone for Trent ahead of Darwin, just mainly because of these reasons that coming up in Game Week 28, I will need some of these players, right? So this is pretty much my thinking right now, and I've locked in my moves. I hope Game Week 25 would go well after taking a -8. I think the hits should pay off, right? We'll see how it goes. But let me know what you guys are doing, and let me know who you are captaining for Game Week 25 as well. That is going to be a huge debate. We'll talk a little bit more about it, as well as talk a little bit about some chip strategy in tomorrow's deadline stream. Yes, it is going to be a Friday deadline, right? So make sure that you set your team early if you are going out, or if you're going to be there for the deadline stream. I'll catch you guys there, and we'll talk a little bit about some chip strategy, because the Game Week 29, double Game Week 29 fixtures have already been announced. So there is some chip strategy discussion to be had, which at this point in time is one of the reasons why I'm not set on a free hit 28 yet, because I think free hit 29 could be pretty decent as well. Right, so we'll go into more detail on that tomorrow, but for now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and finalize your plans for Game Week 25. If not, I'll see you guys in the deadline stream, and hopefully I can help you guys there. And that's it for this video. Right, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and also subscribe as well if you're new around here. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow during the deadline stream, 3 hours before the deadline. Right, bye bye.